everyone, and welcome to spooky season. We are approaching Halloween, and as I do every year, I do 3 different types of Halloween looks for you at 3 different levels of difficulty. The idea being that there's something easy that can kind of pass as normal makeup, which is a little spooky, something medium, more fun for Halloween party, and something a bit harder, more in the SFX direction, that's really good for a photo shoot. Now in the past, I have done a zombie look. I really enjoyed the undead element of it and it was nice and messy. And I wanted to explore the undead concept a little bit more, but I didn't want to do something that's too close to that zombie. So instead, I'm going to do a drowned look. I'm starting off with some primer that I'm going to put all over my face. But instead of going in with regular foundation, I'm going to go in with the lightest shade of concealer I have because I want to look nice and pale. So for that, I'm using this one. It is in the color Light Ivory. And I'm going to draw it on all over my face and then blend it in with my beauty blender the way you usually would. Obviously, if you have a lighter foundation lying around, you're more than welcome to use that too. But to set my face, I'm going to use some of these light eyeshadow colors I have on a kabuki brush and just work it all over my face. I usually like using old palettes for stuff like this because I know you're going to be digging into that eyeshadow. That's why this one looks the way it does. And I don't want to do this to like my nice palettes that I actually like using to do my makeup. So I have a few designated old palettes I use for Halloween looks. The reason we're setting this is even though you want to look shiny for a drowned look, I want to be able to blend the colors where I want them to go, and I don't want them to be stubborn because they're on a sticky base. So I set my face with the powder to make sure it's a smooth layer to work on. Now usually in water things tend to bloat, but I want to go more for the traditional dead look where you're sunken in, hollowed out. So I'm going to pick up a contour brush and I'm going to take gray and I'm going to map out where I want the contour to go, and then I'm going to deepen it up with some black. Going to hollow out my cheeks with this gray, and I'm going to bring it forward more than usual and drag it down more than usual, kind of make it look like I have empty cheeks. I actually think I'm going to go in with some of these shimmery grays I have because we're not afraid of shine today. I'm also going to bring it up here, of course on top of my forehead, sharpening up my jaw. If you want to do a proper Halloween look, you actually have to include the neck. I tend to neglect that because I do my makeup just for the video. If you want to get a good picture or look good on a night out, you got to do the small details. That also means you need to get your ears. With a bit of a denser brush, I'm going to pick up the same colors, and I'm also going to contour around my lips. And while I'm here, I'm going to extend my mouth a little bit. Very popular thing to do around Halloween time. But I'm also going to carry the mess down a little bit here on both sides. Now for the nose contour, I know everyone does it in their own way. I'm going to contour on the sides as usual, and then it's important to take it into the eye socket because we want this part right here to be dark. That's going to help make your eyes look sunken in, and I'm going to start that with the contour. I'm also going to accentuate this line on my nose here and the whole tip of my nose, and then all of this now needs to blend in. Oh, and also around the nose before I forget. The best advice I have if you're doing a look like this is to have a mirror that you can put down and see yourself from a distance. I'm trying to hold my mirror far from myself so that I can see the full effect. If I hold it close, I'm going to be wanting to criticize the makeup and the technique and all that, but we're not looking at how sharp the eyeliner is today. We're looking at how this reads from a distance. The great thing is you get to be super messy with it and it'll still work out, but I'm going to accentuate my under eye bags as well while we're here. Kind of getting everything all doom and gloom with these grays. Ooh, my camera just stopped filming. I don't know why. I got a lot of the shading looking how I want it to look, but I want it a bit deeper, so I'm going to go in with a little bit of black as well. Go over all the same places and make it darker. Next, I'm going to do my eyebrows. I want my eyebrows to be nice and dark, so I'm going to do them straight up in black. I don't want my eyebrows to be the only thing brown, so I'm going to use some black eyeshadow. If needed, some black eyeliner, but it should be fine with eyeshadow. Now we're going to play with some color to make the skin look real, even though this is real skin. But layering color adds that spooky real feel effect, and you want cool tone colors. So you want your yellow, you want your greens, you want your blues, and then you can add a little bit of purple and stuff. I don't want too much true red, even though I think I will probably go with some pink, but I'm going to splot it all over. So first I'm going to start with some yellow, and I think I'm going to use these palettes for these colors. So I'm going to start with some yellow first, and I'm going to pick it up on a fluffy brush because nothing is too precise, and I'm going to make splotchy little patterns with the color. While these patterns should be somewhat random, I do want it to feel like it's coming kind of from the eyes and kind of from the mouth. I feel like it adds a spooky effect. because it makes it look like something specific is wrong as opposed to just stuff on your face. So there we go. I think that's balanced enough without it being too symmetrical. I'm going to pick up some orange next, and this I want more blotchy than the yellow. The yellow was kind of the base layer, so it's kind of everywhere. I don't want the orange to be that everywhere because then it's just going to blend to uniform, and that's not the goal. Next, I'm going to go in with a light blue and repeat the process. Just stamp the color on. The next layer is some green. I'm staying in the lighter area. Usually for bruises and things, I go a bit dark because bruises develop dark, but because I want this to be sickly and a little bit otherworldly, because it's from underwater, I want to keep it kind of bright. But I am going to go in with a bit of a darker green regardless, and just spot a little bit of it into this mess. If you feel like specifically here it looks too stamped, don't blend circularly, blend by tapping and moving your brush back and forth until you feel like the colors look like they're going together a little bit better. If you go circular, you're going to blend all the colors together and you're not going to see the kind of dimension you've created. Where if you tap it, you get rid of the rough edges, but you don't bring them all together. Like so. Next up, I'm going to go with a little bit of a lilac color. I feel like purple makes it pop. Purple is usually the thing that's missing. If I feel like it doesn't look right, I'll add a touch of bright pink. But let's first see if the purple does what I'm hoping for. I'm picking up a bit more of a traditional darker purple. The light was not showing up enough. And again, blend by tapping after dusting off your brush. I'm adding a bit of the same effect to my neck just to bring the whole body into this look. Now for around the eyes, I want my eyes to be a bit darker, so I'm going to pick up a mixture of a dark blue and a dark purple. And I'm going to deepen the socket here, and I'm going to take it around the top as well, especially focusing here to make it look like my eyes are hollowed out. I'm going to add a little bit of the same color here because it's Halloween. Girls like to be cute, so I'm going to pop on some liners. I might just add a little bit of definition to my eye. I'm going to add in some black there as well, and then to help it match the others, I'm going to throw in a touch of light blue, touch of yellow, just so that the color story we have going on is all cohesive. I want the same thing going on my mouth, so I'm going to take those exact same colors. I'm going to use it to accentuate the mouth split we spoke about earlier, and I'm going to drag it onto my lips. I'm going to pick up a tiny bit of red, and I'm going to work it here underneath my eyes. This will help the eyes look irritated and even more like something is wrong. But I'm not cleaning up my brush, so it does have the other cool tone color still on it, so this isn't popping as too red on its own. The mix of colors going on makes it all look like it belongs. And because I like that, I'm going to blow it out here in the outer corner of my eye as well and make the whole thing look irritated. If it's too bright, just go back over it with the dark blue and purple mix you have. Now before we get to final touches, I'm going to see what I think about the whole thing. I feel like the contour isn't dark enough with what's going on in the middle of the face, so I'm going to go back in and darken that up a little bit. I specifically want to darken it a bit around the nose, but I don't want to blow that out too far because that can be messy pretty quickly. But now it's time to play with shimmers and do the exact same stuff that I did on all these detail sections. The shimmers are going to add a nice little slick look to it, make it look nice and gross. So I'm again going to start with some yellow, tap it on everywhere with my finger. Next I got that little bit of orange, we don't want too much of that. Then some sea foamy colors, a little touch of purple. Now I'm going to take a shimmery white shade, a regular white highlighter, and I'm going to apply it on areas where I don't have much going on, like here and here. I'm going to mix it with a little bit of a cool toned pink one, and this shine is going to help me look a little undead. And it does not have to be uniform, it can be splotchy. Splotchy is a good thing when it comes to Halloween looks. I'm going to pick up a dark shimmer shade and put it on my lips, but I'm going to do the Beetlejuice thing that's super in right now where you go and then put the color on. And it'll help add some cracks to your lips. So I'd say we're sufficiently gross. It's time for the closer details. Like I said, I want my eyeliner, so I'm going to throw that on. And here you can go for any size wig you want. Eyeliner is kind of my way to break the immersion, to kind of remind people, hey, this is just for fun, because people get mad at you if your Halloween looks look too realistic. I'm also going to take a touch in the outer corner here and drag it a bit into my lips as well. And then I'm going to touch at it, make it messy. The same thing goes for my actual eyeliner itself. I'm going to put a fresh dot right there. I'm going to tap at it very lightly. I'm going to mess that up. terrifying to do. Usually you don't want to mess up your eyeliner. The other day when I did the first Halloween look, which is that like vampy looking look I did, I was cutting onions after doing that. I was making dinner and crying my eyes out from the onions, which ended up making such a mess with the eyeliner. I'm going to tight line my eyes, but I'm going to apply red in my lower lash line to match the red we got going on underneath. But I'm going to let the black bleed out the corner of my eye to add to the mess. The red in the lower lash line is going to make it look like you were crying, which is fitting for today. So this is where we are. I'm going to put on mascara and then see what other details I still want to add. But we might be towards the end. Since everything's already a mess, you might just as well use your mascara to add to it. An optional extra little detail is I like adding veins, so for that I'm going to use a very small brush and I'm going to pick up dark blue eyeshadow. I'm going to make sure I don't have any fallout from this. And I'm just going to draw a few veins over these funny areas we have. Veins always end up being easier than I imagined them being. So kind of just go for it. Let them take whatever shape they're taking. And I'm playing with the color a little bit. The blue didn't show up as much as I wanted it to. So I took in some purple and some black. They also don't have to stand out too much. It's kind of okay that they look like they're fading in because they are kind of underneath the skin. I really like these type of looks because you get to spend hours just sticking things on your face and it actually turns out fine in the end and they're lots of fun to do. And the beauty of it is the messier the better it is. There's no wrong way to do it. There are only tricks to make it easier for you to do. And I'm gonna pop on some big lashes just for the heck of it and see the final result. So this is what we look like, all spooky and drowned with huge lashes. And surprisingly, this took less time than like regular glam. But if I just want to take fun pictures, I can just wet my hair and call it a day. But if I want to wear this out of the house to a Halloween party or something and I want my hair to still look wet, I'm gonna have to put something in it. So you can choose mousse, gel, whatever. I am gonna go with conditioner. So I'm scooping a bunch of conditioner out and I'm applying it on the top of my hair. I don't need to fully drench my hair with it, I just need the top layer to look wet. It's in a tub and I have long nails, so it's terribly difficult to get out of here. But now my hair looks wet, it's gonna dry looking wet like this, and when I do rinse this out, it's gonna be good for my hair. How fantastic. So I put this on now. You can decide if you want it slicked back to look like you just emerged out of the water, that is an option. But an alternative will be making this kind of chunky, loose, messing it up a bit by just breaking the pieces apart. So it looks wet, but not like it is slicked back. I'm gonna go with the fact that your hair probably isn't gonna stay cute if you're drowning, so something like that. Anyways, this is the final result. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Halloween season's always a lot of fun and I look forward to posting all these pictures and hearing what everyone has to say. Fingers crossed I actually get good pictures now because it's all great to get a good look done, but now I need to like capture the vibe in a picture to really make it worth it. But as I said, this is all for today. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you again next time. Bye bye. I just feel judged.